Fill 2 baths with water to the brim. Place the thinker in one and the drifter in another. Supply them with 3 different sized buckets each and ask them to empty all the water in the baths. The drifter will go for the biggest bucket and engaging his full energy to empty the water in his bath, believing that he has applied the best wisdom. The thinker, while assessing all the setup, will go for the bath stopper and pull it out, emptying all the water in the bath without losing any time or energy in the process. This is because he thinks. Those who fail to think limit themselves to superficial conditions and make of themselves burden of beast of burden for those who think. Those who recognize the power of mind over matter. Unless we are willing to think, we shall have to work, and the less we think, the more we shall have to work, and the less we shall get for our work. There's no need to shovel the darkness out of the room. All that is necessary is to turn on the light. Welcome to Success Digest, where we analyze and discuss those ingredients essential for you to be financially independent and for you to live a bountiful life. My name is Kayode Enraitan, the publisher of Success Digest video series, plus the Jonas and the CEO, Kenneth Consult Limited, a financial service firm that is based in London. I'm going to discuss with you today on the topic, the thinker versus the drifter. The thinker versus the drifter. The thinker is someone who has a particular opinion, a particular belief or idea about someone or something. A drifter, on the other hand, is someone who moves or works passively, aimlessly, or involuntarily into certain situation or condition, be carried slowly by current of air or water, in this case, by the current of events and so on. We find that the most powerful forces of nature are the invisible force, and invariably, the most powerful forces among are his invisible forces, his spiritual force. The only way in which the spiritual force can manifest is through the process of thinking. Thinking is the only activity which the spirit possesses, and thought is the only product of thinking. Reasoning is a spiritual process. Ideas are spiritual conceptions. Questions are spiritual satellites and logic. Argument and philosophy are spiritual machineries. Every thought brings into action certain physical tissue, part of the brain, nerve, or muscle. This produces an actual physical change in the construction of the tissue. Therefore, it is only necessary to have a certain number of thoughts on a given subject in order to bring about a complete change in the physical organization of a man. Thought brings knowledge, and knowledge is power, the fullness of which is when it is applied. Wisdom, strength, courage, and all harmonious conditions are the result of power which come to us through the process of thinking. On the other hand, every lack, limitation, or adverse circumstances are the result of weakness. Weakness is simply absence of power. This is the process by which failure is changed to success. Thoughts of courage, power, inspiration, harmony are substituted for thoughts of failure, despair, lack, limitation, and discord. All these thoughts take root. The physical tissue is changed, and the individual sees light like a new light. All things have actually passed away. All things have become new. He is born again. This time, he is born of the Spirit. Life has a new meaning for him. He is reconstructed and is filled with joy, confidence, hope, and energy. He sees opportunities for success for to which he was beforehand blind. He recognizes possibilities which before had no meaning for him. The thought of success with which he has been impregnated are radiated to those around him, and they in turn help him upward and onward. He attracts to him new and successful attributes, and this in turn changes his environment, so that by this simple exercise of thought, a man changes not only himself but his environment, his circumstances, and his conditions. As you think, so shall you become. His creative vibration, and the quality of the condition created will depend upon the quality of our thought, because we cannot express powers which we do not possess. We must be before we can do, and we can do only to the extent to which we are. And so we do will necessarily coincide what we do will necessarily coincide with what we are, and what we are depends upon what we think. Every time you think, you start a train of causation which will create a condition in strict accordance with the quality of the thought which originated it. Thought which is in harmony with the universal mind will result in corresponding condition. Thought which is destructive or discordant will produce corresponding results. You may use thought constructively or destructively, but the immutable law will not permit you to plant a thought of one kind and reap the fruit of another. You are free to use this marvelous creative power as you will, but you will take the consequences arising thereof. Discussions on thought is massive, and I'm not claiming to be the creator of any, as various books have been written on it. I'm only sharing with you on the small area that deals with your financial independence. Now, what happens to you if you fail to think? Many people are just too lazy to think. Many rely on others to think for them, and this can be dangerous. No human being can think for you to benefit you fully as you will think for yourself. Not even twins, because your thoughts are unique to you as your fingerprint is unique to you. We all have different minds, which is the factory where you do your thinking. He who fails to think becomes the drifter, who like a ship that leaves the shore to sail without a compass. Its destination comes under the mercy of the wind of the sea on which it is sailing. A drifter turns his ride through life. For such a person, the parade passes them by. Having missed the boat, they stand on the wharf, blaming everyone except themselves, and demanding that the world cater for their self-centered desires. They go about their senseless and empty lives, petite and useless. They believe something dramatic must happen to them before they can get interested to help others. They will not help until there's something in it for them. To succeed in life, you must face the hard way, bringing down all obstacles coming to you. This is the only way our journey will not become windy like that of a river. The river, while making its path to the sea, always seeks for the easy way. Hence, its route is never straight but winding. To go straight is hard, but it's shorty to your destination. Have you noticed that a river never flows back? It will always find its way, and when it encounters obstacle on its way, it will go around it seeking the easy way out, looking for the soft path. Hence, its path becomes windy. He who always seeks the way out will hardly achieve anything worthwhile in life. How often we are faced with difficulties and hardship, or we call it failure, when it is temporary defeat. Perseverance, focusing on the achievement of your goal, breaks the barrier. If you had the real seed of success within you, a little adversity and temporary defeat will only serve to nurture that seed and cause it to burst forth into maturity. The test of a man is the fight he faces. Success comes when he wins. You retreat in a battle only when you have alternative. But when there is no alternative, the battle becomes no retreat, no surrender. Men usually win their battles when they make up their mind to do so. Everybody in life thinks. It is the way we think that determines our action, and our action tells the world who we are. The madman also thinks, only he thinks his thinking is insane. And this is the difference between the thinker and the drifter. While the thinker thinks out a goal and an idea to pursue, the drifter thinks aimlessly and without a goal. Because the drifter fails to focus his thinking towards a positive and constructive goal, he leaves himself open for drifts up and down, left and right, according to the whims and caprices of wind of life, which majority of the period are unfavorable to him. I said earlier that accurately, In one word, they are called accurate thinker. For many years, men made ships of wood and nothing else, believing that wood is the only substance that can float on water. It takes an accurate thinker who became advanced in his thinking process to understand that steel will float and that it is far superior to wood for the building of ships. That was when the thinking of man came to the understanding that anything can float, which was lighter than the amount of water which it displaced when put on water. The same way that men initially believed that only birds can fly, but now we know that man can not only equal the flying of the birds, but he can exceed it. Not until recently that men realized that this great open void known as the air is more alive and more scientific than anything that is on the earth. Now, we know that the spoken words will travel through the ether with the speed of a flashing of light without the aid of wires. The list is inexhaustible. Now, we have smartphones with its associated various functions that we derive from it. I remember in the 80s, when I was a student here in the UK, any attempt to speak to my parents in Nigeria would involve 3 or 4 processes. Going to the phone booth first. There, I will call the neighbor with landline on our street to inform my parents that I will be calling them on a particular time on a fixed day. That was religiously kept because I know that my parents' routine is being at home on Sunday evening after service unless they traveled. Now, with that small gadget called handset, you can speak to anybody, anytime, and anywhere in the world. Tell your children that there is A to Z to get around before, and he or she will tell you what is A to Z. I describe the thinker as the one having a particular opinion about something or someone. Opinion formed depend upon information received. Accurate thinker is the one who indulges in the two fundamental principles to separate fact from mere information and act on the facts only. Secondly, he will separate facts into 2 classes, important and unimportant, or relevant and irrelevant, and act on the important and irrelevant fact, and use this for the attainment of his goal, his definite shift pursuit. I'm going to stop here due to constraint of time, but please know that this is just a tip of the iceberg on discussion on accurate thinker. A one-to-one discussion is available. For more comprehensive discussion on this topic or any of my previous videos, you can also obtain Success Digest journals published by Kayode Enright. For more information, please feel free to contact us at Kenneth Consult Limited and allow us to discuss with you more enlightenments and ingredients needed for becoming financially independent. We are the financial experts that specializes in financial management. We invest your fund on financial instruments for you at the stock exchange and manage it for you thereafter. Let us continue to travel together on this journey of success through the path of wisdom, to be informed, to be transformed, and not to be informed, to be deformed. My name still remains Kayode Enright, and I can be reached on 074279 4000 or 0795177525. Better still, visit our website, kennethconsult.uk, kennethconsultlimited.uk. If you are blessed by this video, please subscribe to it, share it, and like it. Also, visit our blog on YouTube for more of our videos. Please continue to enjoy your success.
Welcome to Success Digest, where you obtain ingredients for your financial abundance and financial wellness and be fully financially independent. Let us travel together on this our journey of success through the path of wisdom. To be informed is to be transformed. Not to be informed is to be deformed. Success Digest leads you to financial independence.